What is going on, guys? We are back with my first rebuild of Madden 23. It is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know you needed me to say it because you couldn't tell at all before that exact moment that that was the team that we were rebuilding. Of course, I don't know if this is going to be the first rebuild actually uploaded. That's the plan. But usually when Madden kind of comes out, I record 2 rebuilds in the same day and then have them prepared just in case somebody else, uploads the team before me. It'd be really unfortunate if both teams were uploaded, but probably plan on doing a Lions one as well. Something like that. I don't know. But Trevor Lawrence, still a superstar in the game. Now, as far as the XP, sliders go, I'm probably going to keep him around 125 just because I'm not 100% sure how it's going to be this year. Maybe they changed him. Maybe they tuned him. The rookies, their devs were a little bit lower than we would have thought. Like Jameson Williams not being a superstar, Eden Hutchinson not being a superstar, even maybe Travon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau. There's a lot of guys that maybe should have been higher dev than they were. So we're thinking, maybe that's because, upgrading with XP is easier, or there's more breakouts perhaps. But this is a team that, it's the Jaguars. Back-to-back first pick overall, could be on their way to another one as they spent money weirdly in free agency. I will say some of their moves weren't that bad. Aluakun's not a terrible choice for them. Of course, Brandon Sheriff was an absolute smart call. But then you have guys like Kirk. Of course, if we're paying him like number 1 wide receiver, he's going to be a number 1 wide receiver. This is the team that ruined the wide receiver market, so you damn well believe we're going to try to make him a damn beast. Of course, like we said with Trevor Lawrence, he's a superstar, which is great. ETN, I feel like they plan on using him all over the place, but I'm going to have him as my number 1 just because I don't really know if, Robinson really fits as the 3-down back guy. I feel like he's built better to just be, the power back. Kind of use him like Green Bay is going to be using A.J. Dillon. ETN's the primary, and then you can kind of mix them in. But ETN, I think, has the better prospect or future because, of course, he is younger and he's built better all around. Still a little weird that Devin Lloyd didn't get star or better, but Muma did. As of right now, this is what the lineup's going to be. Maybe we move this to a 4-3 so we can use all 3 guys, but it's a little weird with that, hidden development trait situation at linebacker, but lots of potential. Josh Allen dropped down a star, of course, and yeah, that's kind of the plan as of right now, I'd say, for the draft, depending what pick we have. Interior of the D-line, but if we are a bad team, like, this team has gone back-to-back years of, maybe even more than that. I can't really remember when Saxonville was a thing. It's been a while now, but of course, corner is not to be taken too lightly either. Darius Williams would rather have him in the slot, and he's already going to be 30 next season, so that's probably another big focus. O-line wouldn't hurt either, but yeah, I think corner and interior of the D-line is probably the number 1 choices. Number 1 choices. Yep. Of course, though, if you guys are enjoying the Madden content from me, you guys want to see more franchise, more Madden 23 content in general, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe. We're going to do a ton of it this year, as you would expect. Yeah, Luakun's really solid, actually. His, ratings for coverage aren't the greatest, and his block shitting's not the greatest, but everything else is pretty solid. If you're not new, maybe pat yourself on the back, because you're kind of a legend to me. All right, appreciate your continued support. And yeah, let's get into this rebuild. Of course, Trevor Lawrence, he's okay. He's definitely usable. He's superstar development trait, like we said. In previous years, it's been improviser that's kind of been the move. I'm going to go back to the OG of strong arm. We did not go up in overall, which is kind of iffy. +2 to medium, 1 to awareness. And it's pretty iffy. And then Wingard, who is going to be the backup to Cisco. Take your ass back to the Marvel Universe, please, Thor. Alright, so we have our first scenario of a rebuild, and it's going to be like the traditional, I wonder what however you can help is. The traditional wide receiver mentorship. They went with Chenault, who is like one of the guys we do want to develop. Getting open is usually the best way to do this. Of course, we're going to go with short routes, because that's kind of what you would expect him to be good at or want him to be good at. So short routes, which should give him short route and release. 2 to release, 2 to short route. So pretty standard stuff. Of course, it's small stuff, which I know a lot about. But, you know, the little Jaguars logo, the color scheme, you know, the different colors I like a little bit. To be honest, last year's franchise, the UI was kind of trash. It was kind of trash. There was no color. It felt kind of depressing, and it made you just not want to play franchise. But I do want to play franchise now with all of this. I'm trying to get used to some of the screens a little bit. I'm going to go with 4 wins because I don't feel super confident with this team. But, you know, some of the screens are a little, you know, trying to get used to, like opening day keys. What is this? Like Alicia? Is she going to be here? This is kind of like traditional, you know, kind of, I mean, I guess you want it to be balanced, but you want to go passing, I guess. How is everyone so quick with the draft classes, though? Little Gene Dangus here with the upgrade. You know, you got freaking that football guy, that franchise guy. Actually, it's not that football guy, right? I'm terrible. Good Game Bro has one. I mean, maybe I need to start doing these, but should we rock with? I don't know. It's work in progress. I'm gonna go. Who the hell? Dupree and Smith. 400 years old. We've seen those faces before, of course, but I think I'm going to go with a CPU class just because the team doesn't need a quarterback. Maybe teams that actually need a quarterback will do one for if there's any decent draft classes. Of course, the game's like literally fresh out of the oven here. But, you know, this team doesn't need a quarterback, more than likely, at least in this rebuild. Definitely not real life, and maybe the verdict's still up, but we're going to go with a CPU class for the teams that don't need a quarterback. Hey, 2,500 XP for all wide receivers because we won. I don't know if it was because we actually hit the goal, but usually the game's like, hey, you did a win. That's pretty cool. So we got our first breakout, and it was Cisco, who could not go from normal to star, which makes me so sad, of course. The difference with the breakout is that it actually said what position group it was. So as far as, like, it's not a big thing. Once again, I know all about that. But for me, specifically in the online franchise for the Vikings coming up, whenever that starts, maybe like next week sometime, I do like to know what the breakout is, but I don't click it until I actually play the game. So, like, I can kind of get an idea of who is getting a breakout. Like, obviously, breakout QB, it's pretty obvious. Who's getting a breakout before actually, like, having to click it for the video. So, like, you know, like I said, when I'm playing the online franchise, I don't click any of the things on the screen until I'm recording, so then I have proof of the breakout, and you guys can see it in the video. So it's really small, but it's a nice little update, you know. It helps me out, I suppose. And, of course, the QB breakout, Trevor Lawrence. I think the very last upgrade or rebuild I did for the Jaguars, he got a breakout very first year and became an X Factor. So we'll see if that happens here today. I'm not counting on it with a 6-1 Denver team here, but maybe. Oh, not maybe. 40-6. Not even close. But we have negotiations. This screen is not something I like, because you see the totals in the middle, the signing bonus on the right. I get they're trying to separate it because some people may not understand what they're looking at here, but this is a little, I mean, it looks better, but as far as like a practicality, oh my, whoa, hey, hello, we're broke, which is pretty cool. Okay. So what does it show the value at? It shows all the years, but that's kind of irrelevant because you can't actually manage that. You can go team friendly, neutral. What does this one do? This one's a 6-year 91. He wants a 6-year 91. Close to market value. The player may not accept. The player will like this offer. The player may accept less. Okay, so like your player friendly, very player. No. Wait. 7-year 123. Yeah, I'm not going to be willing to do that. I mean, even 6 years is a lot for me. So they kind of asked for this. I put a little bit. This is exactly what I was hoping for. So I gave him slightly more than he was asking. Not crazy. 33 mil on a 5-year is this, I'd imagine. It doesn't tell me until you click it, which is really annoying. No cap, really, though. We're kind of broke, so I might have to let James Robinson go. Don't want to let Evan Ingram go, but he's asking for a lot as well. There's a couple of linemen on both sides of the football on this team that are making a fortune, so I don't know what we can actually afford because of that. And I will say, like, I don't really like this. It looks better, like I said, but it's going to take rebuilds longer now with, you know, being able to see less and being kind of overwhelmed a little bit here. And we're sadly too broke to sign Evan Ingram, who's having a pretty good year outside of touchdowns. So, I mean, we're going to just have to let players go because we can't afford them, simply put. All right, so the bye week scenario has changed a little bit over the last, like, Madden-ish, and they seem to have stuck with the one they implemented kind of late into the year. So, I'm not a huge fan of the bye week ones, but because it's a rebuild and we're not actually playing, I will definitely take the XP and lose the stamina, which I don't know if that'll affect Sim, but in theory, that would probably, change Sim less, right? But this is kind of what I was liking, what I was saying that I wanted to see in the future is just on that right side to see the potentials. I need to see more on the front page or on less clicks as possible, you know what I mean? We also have a prospect spotlight, Javon Reeves, the free safety. We'll take a look at him. Probably going to debate on scouting him further just based on his age alone. I know that's a problem, especially since, most rookies are kind of getting older these days, it seems, which is a little weird. That's our team's safeties, which, of course, are not great, obviously. Oh, look, Bo Jackson. Interesting. Javon Reeves is a 2-3 guy. It's a little iffy. He's a bit raw. We don't know anything about his 40, but he is 22. I'll put Bo Jackson on the... Bo Jackson, all right. What a start to the rebuild. All right, so it wasn't a terrible start to the season, but I did not say it was a good end to the season either. Of course, we lost to the Texans recently, or we won to the Texans anyways recently, which really sucks because, of course, they ended up being a lower team than us. But if we would have lost to them, we would have probably been looking at that draft pick that they're going to be sitting at. We're going to be in the top 10, but are we in the top 5? We are not. Just slightly out of the top 5. We were the 6th team, which is still pretty good. Once again, we do not need a quarterback, so that should hopefully help things out a little bit. Of course, you see those numbers. Teddy Bridgewater and Tom Brady on top of the list. Who the hell is Teddy? Wait, who has Teddy Bridgewater? Where is he playing? Oh, the Dolphins. That's an interesting one. Okay, I took a little gander. Of course, you can see Trevor Lawrence there as well. Took a little gander at him, and Trevor Lawrence had a pretty damn good season, actually. Travis Etienne, not so great. James Robinson had a lot of touchdowns. Yards per carry were decent, but the yards overall were bad. Kirk is a superstar. Evan Ingram could be a superstar, but we couldn't afford to keep him. Marvin Jones, maybe he's a superstar. I don't know, but I think we need to re-sign him, and we cannot afford to keep him, and we shouldn't want to because he's old. Chenault, not a bad year, 10 touchdowns on top of it. Blocking, tackles were terrible. I don't know if there's going to be a tackle worth taking super high, but maybe that is something we go for as we really need one. Travon Walker with a really rough rookie year. Of course, Aluakun, really good tackle year. Sacks were decent, picks were decent. Evan Lloyd with 3 interceptions. Kicking, Santoso, that's okay. Punting, really solid, actually. A kick return touchdown for Jamal Agnew. The MVP of the league was Tom Brady with Trevor Lawrence, number 2 on the worst team in the league, or one of the worst teams in the league at least. Offensive Player of the Year went to Derrick Henry. Defensive Player of the Year to Von Miller. Rookie of the Year to Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner. So the Jets with Rookie of the Year candidacy looking pretty decent at 9-8. Best QB in the AFC side went to Trevor Lawrence. Wide receiver went to Kirk. Of course, as you would expect, that duo, just unbelievable, unstoppable. But they got awards, which I've heard guarantees dev-ups this year, which is pretty cool if that's the case. You have the Bengals versus the Buccaneers, and the winner of that Super Bowl is the Buccaneers by 1. That was a pretty good Super Bowl, actually. Let's take a look at the dev-ups. Once again, hopefully Trevor and Kirk went up, which Kirk went up, but Trevor did not. So I don't know if I was lied to, but I think I was lied to. He was quarterback of the year, but did not go up in dev, and he had a great year in general, which is very interesting. But okay, fair enough. It is what it is. I mean, we didn't really need it anyways. Kirk was definitely the bigger of the two, and I didn't even think about it till just now. Did Ingram not go up in dev because tight ends can't dev up in Madden 23 either? Of course, no dev up for Marvin, which is a little surprising, and then Chenault maybe had a chance for the touchdowns, but at least Kirk got a dev up. He is now a superstar. They're paying him to be a superstar, so I'm glad that's the case. And then defensively, I can't really think of anyone that would have got one. Maybe Lloyd did not go up in dev, really. Campbell might have, actually, unless he started at star, which in that case, why didn't I... Nope, he did not start at star. I was about to say, why didn't I put him at number 2 anyways? But now that he's star, or superstar, regular star, he will now be the number 2 for sure. Like I said, I really wish Devin Lloyd would have went up in dev, but this is the life we live now. All right, so we have about 14 mil. Before we go into free agency, which I know is going to be a disaster, I think there's like a limit of 5 players you can bid on, and they want to choose a certain team and this and that. Before we do any of that, we have to see if we can afford to release any of the absolute disasters on this team. Roy Robertson Harris is kind of one of those guys. It's not a crazy savings, but it is a savings. Once again, we lost James Robinson. We lost Evan Ingram, sadly. I don't want to lose any more players like that. Hey, Agnew did get a kick return touchdown, but at the same time, that is an expensive man. And once again, we are broke, dude. So maybe it comes to a point where we release him. But as of right now, free agents, let's see who's there, because I'm interested. Because we used to see guys like Tom Brady go. Of course, you could see guys like Derwin James, Terry McLaurin are here. This is a guy you pay 20+ mil per year for, obviously. There's no chance to get him anyways. Of course, Levante David has zero interest to come here because he wants to play for a Super Bowl, and we suck. Historic championships, really, Mike? Really? Look at that, dude. That is a little too in-depth for me. I'm going to be honest with you. That's super in-depth. Of course, Elton Jenkins is a free agent, and to be honest with you, I see it happening in real life. There are a lot of good names, a lot of them. McCole Hardman is a free agent. It doesn't show, So, do I have to just guess, how much to pay these guys or something? This is kind of busted, dude. I don't really like this. It's, impossible to tell if I'm going to get a guy or not. Oh, team's interested. Oh, it actually shows it on the top right. It doesn't say if you're going to get them, but it tells you that they're interested or not, which, of course, once again, I get it. Realistically, you shouldn't know, right? It's just not hey, McCole Hardman, anyone offering you any money? You what's the highest you've been offered? Nobody's doing that. Was Austin Hooper a superstar? It's surely he didn't go up in dev, did he? I don't think he can do that. I think that's against the rules and law. So I simulated after trying to offer some players, and we got absolutely nobody. And my signings... Wait. Oh, I did get them. They just didn't show me. I ended up getting McCole Hardman and Ronnie Harrison, who, of course, returns as a superstar development trade player. 3-year deal worth, 10? Which is amazing. And then Hardman was a pretty cheap deal as well. Still targeting Irv Smith, but we are kind of broke, so I'm kind of thinking maybe, do I even want to? Jason had a 5th-year option, and I said, yeah, not happening, buddy. So we have pick 6 overall, and we really don't... Wow, Seattle has the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, we don't really have a player to take there. None of the linemen look that great to be doing that about, so we're going to be trading this down to probably something around 18 or so if we can. Got to get used to the first year also being, 2023. I'm going to be well, what do you mean? I don't want a next year pick, but obviously that's how it is now. 23 from the Chiefs, which would end up giving us a first round from them next year, but the Titans are offering similar, and I do agree that their pick is probably likelier to suck next season if they were going to. I really don't want the first round next year, but more I want multiple picks this year, but I suppose we're going to settle for the Titans pick, I suppose. It's best bet. All right, so we traded 24, 128, and a 7 next year to move up 4 spots with the Packers, and we are going to be grabbing a defensive end who plays interior. We had a different guy, but he went pick 18. He was a late first, so I'm a little surprised. Well, you know what I mean, 1 to 2, which is late first. A little surprised. Of course, this guy's also late first, and this guy we're going to be going with, of course, a little risky is an A to C. I'm not 100% sure what that means. I think if you were to have it 100% scout, it would tell you. So I guess it is kind of just maybe you're getting an A, maybe you're not. But with him being a 4.79 40 guy with 38 bench press reps as a D-end, I think it's not safe, but it's our best bet as of right now. And he is hidden development trade, our first. What the hell? Does he not look weirdly skinny? He's missing shoulders or something. I don't even know what that is, but he looks pretty good based on that speed, strength, and, of course, hidden dev. We're going to add a 4th-round pick this year by moving down to 45 with the Bears, which, of course, allows me to land my other defensive end, Emmanuel Winston. He's a little bit smaller, but he still fits that interior role. Did not participate, though, which back in the day of Madden was a good thing. He's a little raw, but he does have that A block shed, so you imagine he at least has like something in like the 70s, high 70s, low 80s, which is probably worth it. And another hidden development trait player. I don't know how common this is. Of course, this is my first CPU class, but I would have never done that on Madden 22, so I guess dub so far at least. And now I kind of just thought about it. We have like no tackles, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to be down to grabbing some of these linemen here. How many do we have? We have what appears to be 4 linemen. I don't know who's the best. We're going to literally decide right this instant and just grab one. Tackle is the most important. A B, I think that's already solved, to be honest. But let's see if there's anyone worthy of like trading up for. He's got a couple of A's. Nothing guaranteed for some of those things, though. What about Sprinkle? C run, but how old is he? 21. I mean, he's a little raw as well. And then we have James McKenzie, who is probably the best out of all of them. What's his size? He's 6'3", 330, kind of does fit as a center. We need to tackle more, and this guy is built like a tackle. So Trey Corbett is going to be our choice. Please be hidden. Oh, that's a bit of an L. We got a normal dev left tackle. That's unfortunate. We trade 88 and 134 for 78, which I think is a fair trade. Of course, our next pick would be pick 6 in the 4th round, which I'm a little worried because there is a tight end we have that looks pretty worthwhile in my opinion, but he's a 3 to 4, so we're probably going to have to trade up yet again. We really need that position, and I think it was James McKenzie we wanted the most, so that is who we're going to grab. Please be hidden. Yes, he is hidden, so L on the tackle, but a dub on the guard. And we're actually going to trade up with the Steelers because we really need that tight end. Like, we literally have no options right now. Not that they really need a tight end, but still, you just never know. We now have no 5th or 6th round next year, but we do have that draft pick from the Steelers, which will land us this tight end who is hopefully good because we are very desperate. But Mr. John Sidney, A catching traffic, A catching, 22 years old, 6'5", B run block, decently fast. He's got to at least be decent. We're going to grab him, and he's hidden. A dub and a half for sure. This has been a pretty good draft. I know we did grab a normal development trait lineman, which is about as bad as you could ask for, but that's not terrible. Of course, they're not going to show us... Wait, what draft pick did I give him? Because I think we do have 2 4ths. I don't want to skip just in case, because I think pick 6 doesn't actually belong to us. It belongs to the Steelers. Where's our pick? 13, which we are kind of down to a last couple of players. Not a whole lot going on here. Wembley's 22. He's pretty fast, which is why I had him on my list. What about the DT? I had him on my list as well. He's a little raw, but he is strong as hell. Don't really need him, though. We got the 2 DNs we got, of course. Do we really want to trade up for Wembley? I'm just going to move on to our next pick. If Wembley's there, we'll probably take him just because of how fast he is, but it's not the biggest need. He's gone. The safety's there. He's pretty strong. Decently athletic. We could use a safety. I don't know if he's going to be good, but I really wanted Wembley more than this guy. 91 speed. I mean, I suppose if the athleticism, you want it, you know, mainly into one thing, it would be speed, and that's what he has. We absolutely need a kicker because we have literally 0, and Wagner, I believe, had the highest kick power potential, so we are going to go with him. Right, solid kick power. So, I mean, solid kick power with an A, actually, that's not bad. And a hidden kicker. Okay, I mean, if that was going to be a video in the future, it's not anymore, I'll tell you that. And we traded our 6th round pick for a 5th next year from the Raiders. It was a high 6th. And Ted Gardner looks the best, potentially. And I cannot tell. He's a fullback. We needed one. Why not? 7th rounder. But based on devs, we apparently landed some pretty good players. I don't know how good they actually are. Let's take a look at their ratings, which are actually pretty good. I mean, at least I imagine for this Madden, right? Like, that seems good in general, let alone for a Madden year where it seems like devs are a little more rare. But block shedding 81, power move is rough, but He's a very good player, obviously, and probably should be the DT #1, but we'll see what happens there. And he's a superstar. Our very first draft pick of Madden 23 is a superstar development trait. Another block shed heavy guy. The exact same block shed and power move, actually. A lot weaker, though, in strength, but still really good. Is star development trait. Fair enough. And then we have Corbett we don't want to talk about. He is a 73 overall, so he's decent. I would assume he'll still play right tackle for us, despite the fact that he's normal. It still is, you know. It is what it is, right? So we're going to put him at right tackle. Boom. And then right guard, the hidden development trait right guard, who I believe will be left guard for us. Not perfect, definitely a little raw with the power blocking, which is kind of what you need your interior guys to do. Play left guard with star development trait, fair enough. And then the tight end, 73 overall, hidden development trait, not bad, decently fast, good catching, route running's pretty raw, specifically deep. What's that dev, though? What's that dev, though? Star dev, still pretty good, though. Giving me some Eifert vibes here a little bit. 68 overall for the safety. The kicker was a 73 overall, automatic starter, obviously. 91 kick power, 83 kick accuracy. What does that dev be, though? You know what I mean? Just like that. Star development trait. Still good, though. And I do want to take a look at the guy we miss, Mr. Norris. I can't really imagine he's going to be better than our guy. Our guy was superstar. Norris is 75 overall hidden. He's also pretty raw. A little bit better in the power move, but obviously a little bit worse in the block shed. What kind of trade-off do you want? You know, it's kind of like whatever. And his dev is, also superstar. Okay, I guess they kind of tie then. Also, another video idea is shot. We found a wide receiver with 99 speed. I was literally going to look at what's the fastest player you can draft in Madden. I guess that's gone. And he's a superstar. Sweet. Any more video ideas? Want to just go right out the window because we're going to get it all done here. Oh, a block offer. I don't know what kind of block offer that. Huh? EA, do you mind? What is this? I'm not sure where they'll play him, but Chase on at this point in his career of just not being able to do anything is worth probably not much. So a 4th round pick I think is fair. Cole McDonald had a job, I mean, on our team. I don't want to do any more than that. All right, this is what the squad looks like for year 2, of course. Adding Hardman in the offseason, Sidney, Corbett, and McKenzie. Of course, we lose James Robinson, but we have Snoop Connor, who's kind of, you know, was kind of built to play that role, literally like such a clone of him. Looking at the defense, Muma gets the start at number 2 as he's the same overall as Lloyd, yet he's star dev. Harrison returns as the strong safety. Tyson Campbell as the number 2 corner, and then we have 2 new hidden development trait defensive linemen interiorly in this 3-4, and then Cisco makes the move to free safety with us releasing Jenkins because he is too expensive. Bruh, we're 3-2 after a 5-11 or 5-12 season, was it? The 6-11, whatever. And there's a crisis in confidence. Okay. Well, I want you to be productive, but like, how am I supposed to promise? It's your job to do that. Hey, Travon Walker is a superstar dev like he probably should have started the game out as, but we are on a losing streak. And EA thinks that all linebackers are not pass rushers. That's kind of cool. We had a QB breakout when we were facing the 1-8 Texans, and we lost. How? So Shaquille Griffin needs a contract, and imagine with that kind of a look that he's probably looking for a 1-year deal, or that's the expected value. The fact that he's only 28 kind of tells me that we should be giving him that deal, which we do. We obviously see a bunch of backup level talent, but also Chenault, who is pretty decent. What is his actual like ratings though? Start development trait, 24. Very solid route runner. Catching could definitely use some work, but I think he's probably worth keeping. So a 3-year deal worth 22 is not bad. I know wide receivers are getting paid, but he is kind of a slot wide receiver, so a 4-year 32 isn't terrible for his level of talent and what we're kind of asking him to do. Travon Walker had another breakout, but of course, getting to X Factor is a bit harder than Superstar, so he failed it. If we win, I don't even know if it matters, but... And we lost, dude. We choked the season away, specifically to the Colts. Oh, my God. What an awful season in general for the division. I will say it's an improvement, obviously, but just to have, a pretty good win streak near the end. We won, 5 games out of 7? And then we lost the final 2, one of them being to the Colts, who literally won the division because of a tiebreaker. Wouldn't even have needed a tiebreaker. We would have been ahead of them. And instead, that does not happen. Let's see how the season went, though. Trevor Lawrence still playing pretty well. We have the Patriots, the Jaguars playbook on still. It's not really going super well for some of the players, but some it is. Like Sidney had a really good year. Kirk was okay. Chenault was decent. Hardman was decent. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence was decent. O-line, the right tackle, the rookie, actually played better than Jawan Taylor did, which, of course, we let go, or who we let go. Morant with 9 sacks, 10.5 for Josh Allen. Travon Walker, 6.5. Improvement, but still looking for double digits at this point, especially since now he's a superstar. I did change his ratings around. I took 7 block shed away and put it onto his power, just because the game is just so dumb at upgrading. But in general, rebuilds take a pretty long time, at least for me to record, so I have to keep it on auto upgrading, because otherwise it would take so long. But Rookie of the Year to John Sidney. Defensive Rookie of the Year to Morant. Not bad. Of course, quarterback, where was our boy? 5 at Trevor is a little bit of an L. But the 2 rookie awards, definite dubs. And of course, we almost doubled our season total for wins, kind of-ish. But it's an improvement, kind of, I guess. The Packers versus the Steelers. I think we actually... Did we beat the Steelers? I think we beat them. Doesn't matter because the Packers won anyways, but I was about to say, we beat the team that won the Super Bowl. Woo, but that was not the case. Of course, looking at DevUps, still none from... Oh, I didn't think about it. So, if he's a Rookie of the Year, he can win. He can get a DevUp. So, tight ends can get DevUps technically, but you literally have to win it in your rookie year. So... Yeah, there's going to be some tight end cheesing anytime I have a rookie tight end. I would never do that. Why would I do that? Of course, like I said, no dev up for Lawrence. Kirk didn't really deserve one. Morant was already a superstar, so I'm not even sure what I'm talking about. Darius Williams, though. The guy that's literally going to be gone soon is superstar dev. Sweet. I'm glad to see that, man. Dev up, obviously. Fatu Kasi, I think, was probably already started element trait, right? Was, but yeah, looking at what we need to probably replace, we could probably use a corner for the future. Linebackers are fine, even though we're wasting Devin Lloyd here. Safety's not bad. DT wouldn't be bad to upgrade either. O-line, though. Left tackle, probably, right? Like, I don't know if Cam Robinson's releasable yet. He got paid a lot of money. Oh, so he is releasable here. And it's not that I want to just straight up release him, but we saved 13 mil to get a better lineman. Of course, he's not terrible, though. At 28, you could probably trade him off for a 4th or a 5th round pick, but looking for a new lineman for sure. We still have a decent enough draft pick to do it, and we have that extra draft pick from, who the hell was it again? Was it the... I'm trying to think of who it was. Oh, yeah, the Titans, interdivisional, not that, that's why I love the Cowboys, because they just, they just make it where nobody can argue with me about trading interdivisional for first-round picks. Like, it's just, what do you want from me, Especially when they're unlikely to trade up for a quarterback because they have Malik Willis and Tannehill. It's not, even if they were going to go for a quarterback, it's still like, if I'm getting a ton of value, what can I say? But yeah, as far as, salary goes, salary cap, it's kind of a disaster. So unless there's a really good deal for a free agent, we're probably just going to keep building through the draft. What the hell is going on, dude? This is not okay. The free agents here is just nuts. Nick Bosa, Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow, Terry McLaurin, Justin Herbert, Rashawn Gary, Mike Evans, fair enough, perhaps, Devin White, Simmons, Brian Burns, T. Higgins, Diggs, Marquise Brown, Justin Tucker, Cam Akers. What is going on? Look at the names in free agency. This is absurd. Also, why is Danielle Hunter start of element trade? I turned off regression. It's literally off unless No, he wouldn't be star dev. How is Daniil Hunter star dev only? I don't know what's going on around here, but I am not... Oh my god, 50 mil per year. It makes sense, though, especially in the open market, let alone just re-signing with their team. I honestly think the teams might not be able to afford their guys, honestly, which isn't really surprising. A.J. Dillon has no teams offered. He wants a 3-year 15, it seems. I mean, he's kind of like the perfect guy to play backup for us, although do we really need him is the question. I'm willing to offer that, though. It's pretty small of a deal. Laramie Tunsil, he wants a 2-year 40. That's a little expensive. Jedrick Wills. It is the Browns after all, so maybe, but I mean, honestly, with the prices here for free agents, I just don't know if any of these guys are in my market. The one annoyance I have, though, for the free agency quote-unquote update for this game is that you can't tell who you got until, like, you actually look into this, which there's 3 teams interested. I didn't even notice Chris Lindstrom is just not interested in general. Oh, Trevor Lawrence's name has come up, and as far as realism goes, we do want to tag him, right? So I'm going to go with a franchise tag, well, the 5th-year option, if you will. And then we have Travis Etienne, which will be a no, because honestly, I'm not even 100% sure I'm going to keep him. Unless we change the scheme, because right now, it's not looking great for the skill level from Etienne. I haven't really seen much from him in the good way. We have pick 7 in the draft. Were we not 8 and 9? Oh, I forgot we have the Titans pick as well. I forgot they were awful. Double good pick, which is a little cheaty, a little busted, if you will. Sadly, we only have 1 or 2 guys that are 1-2s, and we only need 1 of them because they're both, you know, interior 3-4 type guys, and I want Gardner more, but I think I'm going to trade this pick away and then make Gardner my pick at 13. The Niners are offering us a pick. Of course, it's pick 29. They do have Trey Lance, actually. I was thinking of Jimmy G, but clearly that's not someone they have still. The Bengals aren't much better, though, to be fair, so maybe the Buccaneers? We'll do the Buccaneers script. They got to be only getting worse. I don't know if they have Brady anymore. And, of course, I knew it was going to happen. He goes that high. Was he not a 1-2? Bruh. Did our other guy go, too? Wait, did both of them go? Oh, no, Ford's there still, but he's not as great. He's way more raw and obviously slower. We're going to take a 1st and a 3rd next year from the Dolphins and get their mid-2nd here for 13, which... I mean, we're accumulating some picks. It's not the worst thing to do, but man, that's a huge L. Like, we had our players and they went. Terrence Ford's still here. I'm just going to grab him. I feel bad about this pick. I knew it. I knew I felt bad about the pick. Normal dev, I'm hoping for some sort of god because I don't see it. Todd is a 1-2. He's a 2-3 projection. I agree. I think he's going to be a good center. Bring him on. Hidden development trait. That's a dub. Do I just grab Keaton because he looks like a clear-cut great player? Like, he looks the best of the remaining. I'm going to grab Marvin Keaton. Oh, normal dev. Stop, dude. We still kind of need a tackle, too, actually. So we traded a 3rd and a 5th next year and a 4th this year for 53, which was a bit of an overtrade when you consider the actual projections, but... Obviously, at one of these points, you know, we are improving that maybe this will be the year we actually, like, go off. But even though he's a risk, Devin Allen, I mean, there's so many risks here, but he's 21. He's got B-man coverage, can maybe be a corner for us if he sucks at safety. I'm going to take the risk on Devin Allen, and he is hidden development trait. Excel, agility, change direction, jumping is all kind of iffy, but the speed is good. And once again, he is hidden, thankfully. And surprisingly, James Baker is still there. I'm going to grab him. James Baker looks pretty good. I'm going to grab him. Center, hidden development trait. We always see this. Risky with the A to C catch, A to C man. But he's 6'3", 21, and he's got potential to maybe be that, like, you know, Andrew Booth type. I don't know if we need a corner that bad. We do have the safety anyways. Actually, you know what? I am going to take the chance on him. Normal dev, and he is actually extremely athletic. I mean, that could be a decent pick. All right, draft recap. Let's see it. 72, 74, 74, 74, 73, 70, 76. He was a 76 overall, but he's normal. How is he so good? Womack, 76 overall. He's really bad at run blocking, but He is very good at pass blocking, in fairness. He's decent. He's actually pretty decent. You have Ford, who sadly was normal dev. Block shedding's okay. Strength's great. Okay athleticism, but a big L. Honestly, that's a straight up bust. Logan Todd. I mean, all the guys that are hidden are going to all start, so it doesn't really matter too much. You know, where they start, they're just going to start. Keaton, actually not bad, but once again, normal dev. Lots and lots of linemen. Devin Allen is the automatic starter, so when we check his dev, it doesn't matter if it's star, superstar, or X Factor. He's going to be the starting free safety, obviously. And his dev is star, which is still fine. And then we had Baker, of course, another hidden development trait center. Who would have thought? He's pretty athletic, so we're going to play him at guard, but we don't really need a guard right now, so we're probably just going to play him at right guard for when Sheriff's gone, but you know, how long could that take? Love 70 overall. I mean, he's kind of a backup anyways, but okay with some potential. That catching's really good, and once again, his athleticism's pretty solid for a 6'3". Let's see Gardner, though. 73 overall and also normal, so he is better than our guy for sure, but he also was picked at 13. So either way, we were taking the L. Bruh, why does the game offer me so good? I get there, like, you know, there's certain positions that are tough to get, but, like, Kinlaw is way better. For one, I don't even know how he's a Texan, but he's way better than Walker Little, who I'm not even going to use. But I think what I might do is if the team that is trying to trade for the player is offering, or actually needs the player, I'll probably end up actually trading it to them, but for just draft picks probably. So Walker Little, he's not super great at this point. A 5th-round pick even is probably too much in Madden terms. So we're going to let him go for that and call it a day there. Damn, look at the line, though. We got so many youngsters. Of course, they're not all, you know, super developable. But, you know, we'll probably put Womack at left tackle, actually, because he's 6'4", 300-some pounds. So here is the squad for year 3. Of course, it is starting to get good. It's starting to get good, of course, the offensive line. You know, we're adding some talent. Baker's being, you know, kind of underutilized here, but he'll play somewhere next season, I imagine. You know, Robinson might need a contract. I'm not paying him again. It's just, he's going to start somewhere, you know, so we're going to have at least 3 star or better young linemen, with Sheriff will still probably be here for the rest of this rebuild. Sydney, of course, is superstar. The wide receivers should be fine. I think Kirk is only like 27, 28. He's 27. He'll be fine. Of course, they locked him into, what was it, a 4-year, like 80 or something like that. So he'll be here for another 2 years, I think, this year and the next. Dylan's a nice little addition. A 3-year 15, I think, is perfect for him because he is kind of like the power back, third down back. And then looking at defense, there's no more normal devs starting. That is my face reaction to this situation, which is, you know, super happy, of course. Fatu Kasi needs to probably be replaced. Middle linebacker, Aluakan, do need to look at him because he's an 84 overall, 29-year-old. Corner is definitely a huge need. So, middle linebacker, DT corner, and then we're going to still probably look for linemen and hopefully have a little bit better luck. Now, these are the kind of offers I'm used to, which of course I am not going to be doing. Stop! I declined the offer, please! Don't keep offering it! This is so bad, just please stop! Bruh, I swear if they did it again. Dude, you can't just keep calling me about the same offer. We didn't change our mind. At least the damn trade deadline reached its, I wouldn't even say limit, but at least we reached the trade deadline. And I think this is Hardman. No, but it's Kirk trying to go for X Factor, of course. So we should have a little bit more money to work with than normal years, but also we apparently have more contracts to work against as well. Tyson Campbell is a for sure re-signing. Andre Cisco is not terrible over 2 years. Darius is definitely gone. Fatu Kasi is not terrible, but he's going to be gone. Travis Etienne really isn't playing well. But, like, he has the makings. Oh, he's having a better year than normal, though. I was about to say, he has the makings to be a great player. So, a 4-year worth 15, I think. Oh, my, there's the cap. There's the cap. Stop the cap. A 4-year 12 is this? So, we want this to at least be a 4-year, like, near $30 million deal, right? Like, 4-year 25 is probably fair. Even though he's playing better than that. Brandon Sheriff, how many years does he want? I'm willing to do a 2-year deal worth... What is this? Why does it say the... Oh, I didn't realize the cap hit. Okay. I don't know what I offered ETN then. It must have been massive. But a 2-year 25 for Brandon Sheriff. Shaquille Griffin, he probably could stick around one more year, but we've seen some of the talent that's in free agency. If we keep 112 mil cap and bring that to free agency, I imagine it's going to be a fun time to be a free agent, or a fun time for us to spend in free agency. Tyson Campbell's got to be around a 5-year 40, which I think is fair. It's a little bit, low, but it's also a little steep at the same time. It's low for what he can become, but it's steep for the fact that he's a star dev, or he's been a star dev for so long, and he's still kind of low of an overall. What did I offer Travis Etienne? I got to see this. Oh my God, a 4-year 50. Okay, I gotta edit that. So now he's making about 7 mil per year, which is still pretty damn good for a guy that's averaged under 4 yards per carry in 2 seasons as a starter. Actual good year for once. Maybe a bye week, not. Maybe it was because we lost. I don't know. But 12-5 for this team, and it was. If we would have won, we would have had a freaking bye week. Trash cans, dude. I mean, 12-5 is still pretty good. Maybe not trash cans, but you know what I mean. Let's take a look at the season. Of course, we've improved every single season since we've taken over. Well, I guess year 1 we technically did take over, but you know what I mean, when we were actually able to make proper moves. But let's take a look at the numbers. Looking at Trevor Lawrence, who killed it. The picks are a little high, but yards are great. Touchdowns are great. Rushing, ETN's numbers did drop a bit, but he's still over 1,000 yards, 4 yards per carry. That's all I ask is 4 yards per carry. Hardman is a superstar. Kirk, maybe X Factor, probably not. Tight end looks pretty good, could be an X Factor. And then Chenault, pretty good. The receiving numbers have always been good here ever since the start of this thing, though. The real issue has been the run game and the pass rush. Morant has been great. Travon Walker has been better every year, but Josh Allen's not really that consistent. Travon Walker in general hasn't been consistently good, but this is his best year for sure. It was our best year pass rushing for sure in general. Picks were decent. Kicking was all right. Punting was worse than we've had, but it's still pretty good. And overall, we did have a very good season. Let's take a look at the awards. Too many interceptions, which led Trevor Lawrence to be the 9th ranked guy on MVP. Hardman, number 2 for Offensive Player of the Year, though, which is really impressive for a wide receiver. Rookie of the Year, we did not win on any front. Best running back, not even on the list. Best wide receiver, number 1, though, and number 8. O-line, probably not on the list, but I thought maybe Sheriff had a chance. D-line, we had number 5. Linebacker, number 9 and 10, which is pretty good. DBs, number 7 and 9. And then kicker, not on the list. However, we are in the playoffs for the first time, going up against the Colts, who are an 88 overall. All right, going to the end of the game. 7-0, not a bad start. 7-7, the Colts bouncing back with a touchdown of their own, and then they get another touchdown. Here we are playing some defense, getting a touchdown to tie it up, and right before half, nothing, but they start the second half with a huge rushing touchdown with Jonathan Taylor. 17-28, we're coming back a little bit, but we are running out of time. And with that first down, it's going to be almost impossible to come back, and they get the touchdown on top of it. Can the offense at least give a chance to the defense? I'm going to be honest with you. Was that a freaking run? Are they joking? Was that a run call? I think that was a run. Of course, penalty on the offense. I just wanted to, see. This is on, I don't know if it's on All Pro or All Madden, but we're about to find out if it's really easy or not. And Kirk, kind of open, not by a whole lot. I also have that, meter crap on. I may turn that off. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. It's not, that crazy, but it does seem kind of challenging. And that is going to be picked off. Tried to throw it behind him. Didn't really work out. A little bit late on the read because I was kind of going for the slant. Really wouldn't have mattered anyways. It would have been a miracle to come back, but very close. And I'm honestly a little surprised Harmon didn't make the play. But let's take a look at this. And yeah, once again, underthrown. But once again, it's a 50-50 ball. It's anyone's ball. And, Blackman's the one that wanted it more and got it. They win. Losing to the division rival Colts. Not super fun. But a playoff berth nonetheless, 12-5. Super disappointing, but also at the same time, like we said, an improvement. Super Bowl rematch between the Giants and the Patriots. And the winner is the Giants. They just keep beating them. Tons of cap space, but of course, want to save a little bit of money for Trevor Lawrence, who is now an X Factor, by the way. The tight end's an X Factor. Hardman's a superstar. It's really dark in here. Of course, not bad at all. Definitely looking like a proper offense for once. Also, was Todd already a superstar? Did we forget to look at Todd? I thought for a second he got a dev up. I was like, offensive lineman, end of the season dev up, excuse me. But of course, that's pretty much that. Sydney, 86 overall, X Factor now, getting themselves a talent and a half. Let's take a look at the defense, see if there was anyone that went up in dev. I'm trying to think, like Tyson Campbell, if he would have went up, would have been clutch. Did not. Harrison goes to X Factor. It's not really crazy great. You know, he's a decent overall, but of course, having to pay him now as an X Factor isn't going to be great. He is 28, though, so maybe that does help him stay longer. No dev up for Allen. Walker's still superstar. No dev up for Winston or Morant, sadly. But once again, a little bit of money to spend. I think we're going to be needing a cornerback minimum. DT wouldn't hurt. And then linebacker, maybe Devin Lloyd finally gets to start. He's still... Nope. I was going to say still young. He's not. Kind of wasted, but, I mean, we're in a 3-4. We only have 2 linebacker spots starting, and Muma has more potential, and I think he even was younger. We also did keep Andre Sisco on a 3-year 11, which I think is perfectly fine. But all of these guys are going to go. I like Aluakun, but unfortunately, you know, he's star dev, and it's just not really going to work out, I don't think. Look at the names, though. Joe Burrow, Najee Harris, Jalen Waddle, Chris Godwin. I mean, a lot of great names, obviously. Cam Robinson is a free agent. That's absolutely fine. I'm glad I didn't release him because I just realized he's gone now. He has a team as franchise quarterback, which we obviously do. They don't let you actually look at the ratings, though, which is really stupid. Is that like a new thing, or... Oh, view player card. Okay. So 26 years old, 82 overall, not great. Sewell's a free agent. How much does he want? 17 per. I mean... Hello? I'll give you 110 over 5. He still doesn't care because he's like, I need this and this and this. Like, really, dude? Top offers. We are up there, though. I'll keep it on there because he is that good. So we offered 3 really big, good overall names. I expect to get 2 of them. Sewell is up there, but he's not like a necessary guy. 106 mil tells me we did not land maybe even any of them. No, we probably landed 2. Joke is still there, sadly, though. We ended up with Greg Newsome. I thought Joke was like an easy one. There was no one else offering him. We were in the green. I really don't want to spend too much on a linebacker, but... Okay, maybe. We're going to pull the offer. He's just too expensive, man. I suppose... Oh, wait, no, my tackle's still here, actually. I had 3 tackles, but we didn't get to fully scout them. B to D, B to D, B to D, B to lead. It's like, it's either Nick Lowry, who is 22, or the right guard, J.J. Peterson, who's also 22, but more guaranteed. He's a little heftier, but he is athletic enough to still probably play tackle if he has to, so I guess we'll go with him. Screw it. And he's hidden. That's a win. I don't know if I actually want to play him at tackle. I do kind of want to see how this Lowry guy is after the draft, just to see, like, if my radar's off. Center, Sampson, I actually had him on my list, but of course, I don't really need too many linemen, though. We have a choice between 3 defensive tackle types. I know the clock is running, don't worry about it. And I have no idea who to go for. I think Gary is probably the best as a pure pass rusher. I don't think Green is in my list. What about Goldson? We got time, I'm not worried about it. 4'8" with a 39 rep. And then Gary is 21. Oh, man. Nah, dude. I got to go with Michael Goldson. It's a left end, which is scary, but we're going to go for him. And he is hidden. So this could be like the new, like, kind of guarantee type player. The guy that's like 90-plus strength because of the bench press reps. If he is a pass rusher, but good block shedding. Because we've drafted 3 guys like that now just in this rebuild alone that are hidden. We trade 56 and 134 for 48. I'm hoping our linebacker's there, but to be honest, I just can't be bothered to skip manually each time. I did that for the first round, and the DT, or my right tackle anyways, went like right there. Of course, I said DT because you've seen the DT go right there. Raheem Weeks, we need a new middle linebacker. This guy looks like a really good player because of the zone coverage, the athleticism, the man coverage is also an A. Looks like a can't miss. And he might be good, but he is, when it comes down to dev, he is absolute miss. And this guy's an absolute monster, by the way. I never even noticed. 6'6", 377. For that knowledge alone, I'm going to grab him. And he's normal development trait, but he's 95 strength. I'm getting like Danny Shelton vibes here. Also, my 3 linebackers are still here, and they actually all look pretty damn good. I may even grab multiple, like an A zone coverage. Once again, it's usually like not true, but an A zone coverage is hard to beat. And I think this guy is so fast. You got to grab Abraham. We're going to grab him. Isaac Abraham. And of course, he's hidden. So Weeks is literally useless. Nice. And honestly, if one of the other guys is still there at 24 in the 4th, I might as well grab him because Lloyd needs a contract this year. I'm not going to pay him, obviously. So if we have to pay Muma and him, we might even be able to get rid of both if we really wanted to because of these players. I'm going to grab Jimmy Gibson now. And he's only normal. But once again, more depth. Kind of focusing on a lot of the same positions. Obviously, we don't need to really worry about corner because of Greg Newsome. It was a 4-year 70, I believe, which is pretty fair market value, I suppose. We also probably should grab some wide receiver, even if they're like, you know, raw as hell, but they're at least fast. Just to have, here it is, Tyrese Dorsett. What are the chances? 90 speed, 90 excel, hidden dev, he's 6'2". I saw he was decently fast. I seen a bunch of position or ratings that were like C's at minimum. Not a great player probably, but hidden development trait, just random out of the blue grab is kind of nuts. Like, you gotta give me some credit there. That was kind of sick. Draft recap, are we gonna land any, like, god tier overalls? And the highest so far is 76, and the guy is kind of juiced. He's gonna be our new DT, I believe. Once again, another 81 block shed, 78, 67 power move guy. I think we literally drafted Morant like that. And actually, both guys, I think, were the exact same block shed and power move, which, fair enough. I mean, I'll take it. Once again, it kind of seems like a little easy to draft. JJ Peterson, once again, he is a hefty fella, but he is also extremely athletic, durable with that strength. What is his ratings here? His finesse blocking is really bad, though. I don't think he's going to be our tackle. We're going to look for the guy with the best finesse on our line besides Sheriff and put him there. Star dev for Peterson. What other hiddens did we grab? Samson. When the hell did we grab a center? Bro, I don't even remember this, but apparently we did. Domson. I really don't remember this. Like, at all. Star development trait, I guess. We really need to stop at the lineman, though. We are kind of going a little too off with that. Raheem Weeks, once again, a very good player, but, you know, normal development trait won't start because of it. Same with, what happened to Devin Lloyd. Ben Bryant, the huge DT, what is he looking like? Extremely raw, but usable if you really wanted to. For us, he won't be used. And then we have Isaac Abraham, who will be the new number 2 middle linebacker. He is a faster version of what Devin Lloyd probably should have been, which I suppose is just hidden. Star development trait, wearing number 91 is disgusting, but it is what it is. And then Tyrese Dorsett. Very raw route runner, but decent catching, okay athleticism, release is okay. Gives me some like Traylon Burks kind of vibes with a dev of star, kind of as expected. All right, it is now Season 4, and this is the team we have for that season. Of course, we have a superstar center, we have a superstar right guard. Right tackle's normal, but he's decent. Left guard is McKenzie, and I paid 11 mil to get Cam Robinson back for another season because he's pretty damn good. His finesse block for run block kind of sucks, but outside of that, he's pretty damn good. The receivers, obviously amazing. Really good receivers, probably a top 5 unit in the league. Travis Etienne's decent with Dylan making the top 10 running back duo, I'd say. Quarterback, what actually is Trevor Lawrence's overall? Like, it's got to be, well, not overall, but you know what I mean. He's ranked 7, which is pretty good, actually, considering where he started. And then defensively, we have, a little bit lower of overalls at certain positions, but huge upgrade with Newsome. We got Michael Pierce on a 1-year 11 as well, I believe. He's a decent, 1-year guy while we develop these DTs. Honestly, at this point, I don't know what the money situation is like, but we did draft a lot of really good players. They just haven't really developed, so, I mean, we're just hoping for the best with guys like Goldson, who's apparently a 79 overall DT, playing the starting role next season. So we're having an okay season. So is the rest of the, what is it called? The division. We have Trevor Lawrence, who has a lot of an asking price. What is his cap hit? So his average cap hit is actually not crazy high. A 7-year deal seems pretty good, right? Like, this looks pretty good. This is like, what, 45 probably-ish per year? I think that's fair. Exactly what he's happening. Hey, we're happy to give it. You're happy to get it. That's what, you know. Resign a 90-plus overall player, 60 gamer score. That's pretty juiced. Of course, McCole Hardman wants $14 million per year. Of course, we don't know what the wide receiver market's going to look like in the future because the Christian Kirk thing did kind of explode the market a little bit, but a 4-year 68 feels okay. You know, it doesn't feel too crazy high. Of course, also, I didn't really mention it, but for anyone that's like new to the rebuilds, I don't know how everyone else does rebuilds because I mean, I really don't have the time to watch, you know, every single YouTuber out there, but you know, I try to offer as much as possible that is realistic. Like, you know, obviously some of the running backs will ask for like a 3 or 15 when they're the starting running back averaging like 4.5 yards per carry. They're going to be asking for more than in real life, so that's what we usually give them. Of course, Kirk needs a contract, and sadly, that first contract was actually a low ball. So you can see there he wants more money. Muma is asking for a 3-year 20. He's been a backup for a while now, so I'm kind of willing to give him like this. What is this? A 4-year 32? That's pretty good. Neither really more? Oh, I actually didn't even notice it. It's because the re-sign interest is low. Neutral offer, close to market cap or value. He wants a 5? Hell no, dude. I'm not doing that. A 4-year 72. That's a lot, which, hey, he signed. So that's a little bit under 20 per, which is kind of what he originally signed for. But he's exceeded the, you know, what people thought he was worth. Previous offer, they rejected. Neutral, low risk, player friendly, which is a 4-year. Isn't this lower than I offered, though? I'm so confused. Okay, sure, go to free agency. We got plenty of backups anyways. See you later, man. And for back-to-back years, we have locked up the division, and we have actually, for the first time, locked up a bye week. Trevor Lawrence throws for his 5,800 yards on top of it. So the season went. It was very shaky early on, and then we just went on a crazy win streak of, what, 9 straight wins. Didn't change the scheme at all. I have had the Buccaneers playbook on since last season. And I have had the Steelers defense. Oh, no, I haven't. I actually kept this defense base. Thinking of the fantasy draft that I did, the video, because I changed the scheme because obviously I wanted the players in the right spots. But Trevor Lawrence, 5,800 yards, 45 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 70% completion percentage. ETN is back to being trash, though. A.J. Dillon, good touchdowns. Yards per carry isn't terrible. Kirk should be an X factor, which is clutch timings. We gave him a 4-year 74. Hardman, we just paid him. Good money. Chenault, good job. Sidney's been amazing. And then no one else really gets involved. O-line, not bad. Cam Robinson only allowing 7 on the year. Allen, 15.5 sacks. Morant, 9.5. Travon Walker at 8. Pierce at 8 as well, which is pretty good for a block-shedding DT. Kicking was great. Punting was decent. We offered him a 2-year 6. He accepted. McCole Hardman was playing kick return or punt return this year, and he got 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, with breaking the NFL record, did not win MVP. I think someone else did actually. Was like, you know, they were like right on his tail. In fairness, what the hell did I just do? Oh, I was looking at Offensive Player of the Year. Never mind. No awards there. 3rd for best quarterback, best running back, obviously not on the list. Kirk, best wide receiver, and really no one else on the top list. I thought we would have maybe made something happen. No one for O-line. D-line, no. Linebacker number 2. DB number 9, actually. And then kicker number 2 with the bye week. Could this be the year we at least win a playoff game? Maybe we go all the way to the Super Bowl. Maybe we win it. Maybe we don't. I don't know. But, of course, it's nice to have a bye week. And the first team we play is the Miami Dolphins. Let's go in. They're an 89 overall. We are a 92. So a lot of teams are actually pretty high overall at this point. I put on 140% sliders. All right, let's see if we can win, as we obviously lost to the Colts last year. Starting off strong with a touchdown. We get another touchdown, 14-0 now. Still 14-0, and another touchdown, 21-0, 21-7 at halftime. However, Miami is not going away as they are going to tie the game up. I also kind of underestimated Miami a little bit. I keep forgetting how much they added in the offseason. However, it will not be enough as we are going to win the game 28-24. The defense coming up majorly clutch as, of course, this Dolphins team is pretty high-powered on offense, and in general, the defense did a pretty poor job, or the offense did a pretty poor job of putting up points in the second half. That was a mouthful, and I know all about what? Trevor Lawrence, 6 for 7, but he did have a touchdown. Travis Etienne with a fumble. Damian Harris is apparently the running back here. Chris Godwin. Jesus, man. It's like a fantasy damn draft, dude. Like, there's so many different roster changes because nobody could afford their players or they're managing the teams poorly because you see so many good, young players in free agency after the first year or two. Now the Chiefs, a team we actually beat in Week 18. Was it 17? 18? Either way, we beat them. And, of course, we're going to have to do it again if we want to make the Super Bowl. I don't think we've actually seen the Chiefs in the Super Bowl yet. Holy mist. Okay, maybe it just looks like that, but Misty boy, that is quite the game you got here. Raining like a moaf. 7-3 start of the first. Not a bad little start. 7-10. Still 7-10. 7-17. Huge drive before 10. Well, they get a field goal anyways. Before half. We're now down by 3. Up by 4. Defense is doing a pretty good job. Offense gets it. Was that a safety? We're up by 9, which is weird. But we're going to win the game. Barely. To go on to the Super Bowl in the rain. Of course, let's take a look at the numbers. Trevor Lawrence was pretty bad, actually. Rushing, Travis Etienne, pretty good yards per carry with 2 touchdowns. Donovan Peoples-Jones went off for them. Holy crap, could you not? 2 sacks for Chris Jones. They definitely did better than us on defense, but we did have that pick, which was probably huge. The Super Bowl, and it's against the Falcons. They're at 92 overall, and they won 15 games. What the hell is going on? Of course, we do see Christian Kirk has joined the X Factor squad. And then looking at the defense, did we have any dev-ups? We had no one, sadly, again. But here we go. 92 overall versus 92 overall. Oh, it's because they have Joe Burrow. Like, it's so dumb. Dude, Madden franchise is literally broken this year. All right, going to the end of the game. 7-0 for the Falcons, leading in this one early. Defense doing its job just like last week, but offense is struggling to score. It's 7-3, 14-3 now. Huge drive, touchdown before half. We are now up by 3, down by 4, tie or close to tie, down by 1, up by 7. No shot they're going to win this. Well, maybe not win the game, but they lost, I think. We win the Super Bowl. Let's go. Thank you, Lord. 4 seasons it took to win a Super Bowl with the Jaguars, which worries me because, once again, they were on my list of franchise teams, but I thought maybe Trevor Lawrence was going to be superstar still. But in general, they do have a lot of talent, a lot of cornerstone type of pieces, specifically for Madden, that make it not the toughest team to rebuild. And if the fact that it took us 4 seasons and we barely made it, we barely won it, maybe worries me about some teams like the Bears or the Texans or, some teams like that. Definitely a little scary, but beside the point, we have done it here. Those other teams are for the future, and I believe it is the exact same Super Bowl celebration as kind of expected, but it's not a bad celebration, in fairness. It is actually a pretty good, they did a pretty good job with the celebration. I think this was this last year's they implemented? I don't know how many years this has been running now. It's going to be another 3 years probably before we see a different one regardless. Well, let's take a look at the stats, take a look at some of the players that we developed, and then call it a rebuild. A successful rebuild, as these are kind of what the players are looking like. Pitts really didn't play that well, to be honest. Cleveland Farrell, okay. Some name drops here. Christian Fulton. I mean, it's literally a fantasy draft at this point. Like, it's crazy. You'd actually have more teams keeping the players that they drafted or started with in a fantasy draft than this. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it really is that crazy. Oh, achievement. Bragging rights. Win the Super Bowl in an online league. Well, I mean, sure, this is online, all right. Trevor Lawrence, the 97 overall X Factor at 25 years old, got the big boy contract. Also in the shadows, apparently, but really good. Short routes, or short accuracy is a little iffy, but overall he is pretty damn juiced. Let's take a look at running back, even though Travis Etienne really wasn't that great. He had like one okay season. Every other one was kind of bad. He is very solid, though. He's like a poor man's Kamara, maybe even a little bit faster on top of it. Christian Kirk, the meme man himself, yet he was a beast for us. Release sucks, but everything else is actually really damn good. Even the speed and excel is pretty damn good. Then we have a Hardman, who we signed from free agency. He was kind of a cheaper guy, but obviously a huge help to the team. Short route sucks, but everything else is pretty good. Besides, once again, release, as that just seems really hard to upgrade in the game. Chenault, he was actually a pretty big part of this as well. He averaged like 900 yards a season, maybe even 1,000 if you count the like 1,100 yard season or whatever. Really good route running. Catching improved, but still could have been a little bit better. But obviously a great player nonetheless. Sydney, the tight end, who started off as a star, got the dev up because of an award, and now is an X Factor. Super, super good. Kind of like reminding me what like Trey McBride could be if you developed him in the game. Of course, Logan Todd, the superstar development trait lineman we drafted. Of course, he's a center, yet he sucks at power blocking. But everything else outside of power blocking is pretty damn good. McKenzie, the 87 overall left guard, of course, also bad at power blocking. Please, EA, just develop their freaking power blocking if they're an interior guy. Corbett, the 23-year-old normal dev, giving us a little bit of hope that you can develop normal dev linemen. Of course, power blocking sucks for him too, but as a tackle, finesse makes more sense. Let's take a look at the defensive side of things. I'd imagine a lot of people want to see Travon Walker, who actually dev'd down. I don't understand how this is happening. I have dev regression off, dude. Oh my lord. I mean, unless they fix this, I guess the rebuild max is like 4 or 5 years, because it's just going to be such a pain having to fix the dev of these youngsters that, it's like, oh, well, now they're at an age where you got to be good, otherwise you're dropping your dev. Which I will say, in fairness, he probably does deserve to lose his dev, but at the same time, it's so inconsistent that you have to turn the dev regression off. Of course, Chad Muma, insane tackling, pretty damn good, what is it called, zone coverage and man coverage and all that. I don't know if any of these guys maybe had a dev up and then dropped right away. That happens a lot in the game. Love that I have to keep going to defense every time when I want to look at defense. Of course, this has been a thing for Maddens now. It's not just like a new thing. But the fantasy draft one is, sadly, where you look at, like, you click into a player, it brings you all the way back to the all players option, which is, like, so stupid. Josh Allen, of course, he was super inconsistent, but did have a very good year this year. Man, this is really starting to annoy the F out of me. Of course, Tyson Campbell actually started to develop a bit, probably more man than zone. He is a pretty damn good player, though, especially with his height. Still young and developable as well. Be nice to see him get a dev up, though. Morant, one of the best contributors of the D-line. Never really became a pass rusher, but very good at block shedding and tackling and all that. Super strong. He's kind of a god. And then we have Mr. Winston, who is kind of underrated, kind of not talked about, kind of under the radar. A poor man's version of Morant, but he was okay at times. And honestly, that's probably it, unless you guys wanted to see the kicker, Wagner, who was pretty decent of a kicker, developed pretty well. Oh, he actually developed really well. 96 kick power, 87 accuracy. That's actually kind of juiced. My man's actually developed extremely well. He couldn't have been more than like 91 to 93 kick power. That's actually insane, dude. I don't know if that was just really lucky or not, but that's pretty crazy, actually. But regardless, that's going to be the realistic style rebuild of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want to see another one of these rebuilds, leave a like, subscribe. I don't know what team I'll do next. I might go like rotate between good and bad teams. So I might do like the Packers next because they're my favorite team, and maybe it'll be a shorter rebuild. I don't know. But suggest a team in the comment section below. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden. And then whenever we're streaming again, if I will be, because once again, I actually heard Superstar KO is like literally garbage this Madden, and the yard is trash. I'm not playing Ultimate Team, so unless I do franchise streams, which is literally just me recording live, which is a little cringe, there's really not much for me to stream Madden-wise, and you guys don't really seem to like the non-Madden stuff, or didn't at the time. So I don't know. We'll see, but twitch.tv/Jeromepkr nonetheless. And that's about it. I don't know if there would be another video later today. Maybe there was a video or two earlier than this. I'm hoping. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, that is not a voice crack. That is me, like, emphasizing. See ya!